Chris Wootton. Barclays says UK small businesses have fared better than expected during the pandemic, with over 40% forecasting an eventual return to normal. Emma Jones joins us, the founder of small business support group Enterprise Nation. Emma, good morning to you. I don't want to understate the degree of pain that the small business community have felt here. Yesterday we had Begbie's trainer on the programme, and they talked about the risk to over 500,000 businesses now of significant financial distress. What's your reading of how well the SMEs are negotiating this period?
Good morning, Jeff. So, yes, it's a reading. I guess we're very optimistic in our outlook. Everything we're hearing from small businesses in terms of their sentiment is they're growing in confidence. As you say, this small business barometer from Barclaycard, which is in Q3 actually. So Barclaycard have been measuring sentiment, feeling, confidence levels throughout this year. And these Q3 results are looking pretty good. So as you say, small businesses have outperformed how they thought they would. So they thought revenue would be down 28%. In fact, it's just down by 14%. So of course, it's still kind of not going up, but it's not going down as much as they anticipated. And that better than expected performance has led to more optimism. And one of the other key results that we're looking at really closely from this barometer is that 4 out of 5 of the small businesses questioned said they will be looking to invest in their business in the next 12 months. So that optimism is bringing back that ability and the confidence for small business owners to spend to, keep the business growing and trading.
And how do they feel about levels of working capital and public sector support from the government at this stage? Because I know, different sectors have had it worse than others, depending on how exposed they are to the lockdown.
Absolutely. And as you say, this is definitely something that we've seen. Businesses that were selling online before the lockdown have done pretty well over the past 4 months. Of course, those in hospitality and leisure who literally had to shut up shop have not done as well. But in terms of funding, and you'll know this and you'll have covered it on the show many times, 50 billion of funding went out pretty quickly to small businesses. Barclays, who sponsored this report, lent 22 billion alone. The bounce back loans, which were much more focused on smaller businesses, Barclays lent to 250,000 of small businesses. So there's a lot of businesses who got access to quite rapid cash. And again, we referred to phase 1 of the lockdown as small businesses doing a dash for cash. It was a big feature of the first 6 weeks of lockdown, is businesses saying, where do I get my money from? What we're now seeing, Jeff, is much more of a move to what we call back to business. So businesses are now saying, OK, I took on that loan, I took on that debt, I've got to pay it back. And those payments, of course, start later this year, beginning of next year. So I need to keep those sales coming in. I need to get my customers back so I can start to get the cash coming in to pay back. So business owners are really aware of the responsibility they've got, that they borrowed at the time that they needed it, and now they're heading back to business to pay back that debt.
And can we talk about the risks around a second round from maybe consumption slowing as people continue to lose their jobs? How well positioned are they for the risk of a second round effect, either from higher levels of unemployment or indeed a second wave of coronavirus late in the year?
Well, it's not what anybody wants, but the one thing that you can say about small businesses over the past few months is many of them, and again, it's a feature of this report that's come out today, many of them have very quickly adapted. So if they did have to shut up shop and they had physical premises, they've very quickly gone online to make sure they're still in touch with their customers, that they can still get products to their customers, and of course that they can still take customers' money. So if there were further restrictions on trade, what we have seen actually is that a lot of businesses have just got themselves in a fitter shape because they've had to deal with this over the past 4 months. And then in a way, they're kind of in a better position that if it comes again, they've diversified their risk. They've kind of said, let's do more online, let's reach new customers to keep those sales coming in. So hopefully they'd be able to deal with this in a slightly better way, because this initial shock has got businesses fitter, better, and more able to deal with it again.
And there will be a lot of people perhaps who have lost their jobs or who are just looking what the year has been like and are thinking about a profound lifestyle change. What are we seeing in terms of new business formation at this point? And is this a good time to start thinking about setting up a business?
So I'm delighted you asked this question, because not that many people want to talk about startups at the moment, but we are seeing what we think could be a startup boom. So in June, it was a record month for company formation at Companies House. They reported the highest ever number of limited companies being formed. The government body startup loans that lends to startups has just seen a record couple of months. We're seeing at Enterprise Nation, searches for starting a business are up by 67%. So absolutely, as you say, Jeff, people are thinking, if I'm going to be made unemployed, is this the time to get going? And response to your question of, is it a good time to start? You know, recessions can be amazing times to start businesses. There's gaps in the market. It can be even cheaper to get started because some assets have become cheaper to rent, hire, buy. So a lot of people are clearly taking on board that, yes, it is a good time to start. And they're starting out slowly, but we're definitely seeing it come through in the trends that there could be record startup rates in the next couple of months.
Emma, terrific to talk with you. Thanks so much for joining us. Emma Jones, founder of Enterprise Nation, and we wish you the best if you are one of those people who is starting down the entrepreneurial path. Still to come, Alibaba earnings are set to be overshot